What is up, guys? Zaid here, and today I've got this replay from when I was playing ranked on Dueling Book today. I was playing going second striker, my opponent was playing Tri-Brigade, and I had a lot of fun this match, but there was also some spots that I notably believe that I misplayed, so I was really excited to come go over this replay, talk about it, talk about what happens, and then also where I think I misplayed, because I didn't want to dwell on the misplay during the game, so here I am just going to reflect on it now. We're still kind of low ranking. I am 263 and he's 153, but we're playing real decks, so fuck it, who cares? And so let's begin. So I don't remember who won the die roll, but either way, I choose to go second. He chooses to go first. I opened up with Skullmeister, Ghost Bell, Afterburner, DD Crow, Widow Anchor. So no starter, but infinite interruptions and board breakers. Here you see he's got Gamma, Ghost Bell, Tri-Brigade, Nerval, FTK against my deck, and Tanky. So this game probably doesn't go too good, but we'll see. We'll see. So he starts off with his Tanky. I don't have a response. Even if I did, I wouldn't use it. And then he searches Fractal and uses its effect to dump a 3 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast. And here I let him send Kit, and then I let him send Nerval, and then I negate the search with Skullmeister. This is one of the first spots that I'm not actually... This felt like a misplay after the fact, but when I did it, my thought process was I will make him activate all the effects, and then I'll negate the last one, so that there's not really a chance that he extends past that. But I didn't take into account that it also loads his grave, so then he doesn't need anything else to extend besides a normal summon. As you'll see here, I believe he just then normal summons his Nerval. Oh, he actually gammas, but then I bell it, which he didn't know that I could do. Do I bell it? I'm pretty sure I bell it. Yeah, I was wondering what the heck was going on. I bell it. He didn't believe me. I'm like, yeah, it summons from grave also. And so, which, if, I don't know if that was correct either, actually. It might have been, because I think the Gamma ended up being dead the rest of the game. But see, so here he just summons the Nerval. What am I going to do? DD Crow one of these and he just summons a Link 2? I think he only summons a Link 2 anyways. We'll see. Yeah, so like, if I would have stopped the, Fractal, I think he would have had to just normal summon Nerval, make like a Link Haribo or an Almirage if he plays either of those, which I'm sure he plays at least one. But that, I'm not really afraid of that. Needless to say, though, he does have the Imperial Order, so like, that's a little fucky for me anyways, but I think that the correct play is probably to Skull Servant the Fractal, or Bellet, either way. So after this, he makes this card, which I don't know the name for, Rampant Rager, Bear Brum. All the words in this card's name are really fucking cool. I think that card, when it's linked away, it just draws one and discards one, or draws one, puts one on the top of the deck. So he links into Silver Sheller, which lets him extend. I think it summons a card from hand. Let's see. During your opponent's main phase, summon one from graveyard, negate its effects, and return it to hand. That card's really good, actually. And then he searches Revolt, which, this here, if I would have saved the Bell stops Revolt, which is kind of cool, because Revolt summons from banished or graveyard, which I didn't realize until, like, later on into this match. Then he resolved the thing to put one back, sets an order, and passes. I draw Upstart, I activate Upstart, I get my Upstart negated, and I think I just scoop here. Like, all I have is a DD Crow. He might not kill me the following turn, but I have 0 main deck outs to order. I could technically, like, draw a Ray, and I wouldn't be dead, but I'm not really playing either. So I just opted to scoop it up. And at this point, too, he didn't see what I was playing. So he can make assumptions, which he does assume I'm playing striker based on the hand traps and scoop into order. But I feel like that was still a fair spot to scoop, because there's nothing I could do. And it also, he has no idea what I'm actually playing. It's not confirmed to him. But he says he's 9,000% sure I'm playing striker. And so he tankies. I'm going to let Tanky resolve. You don't really want to negate Tanky, because if they have the card in hand, then it's just going to resolve. And then here, he's going to Fractal, I believe. Yeah, he Fractals, and I Ash it here, which I think that was probably the better way to go about it. Like, see, if he didn't have this cat, which he does, like, he does have the cat, but if he didn't, he would have these 2 normal summons in hand still. So if I would have let him go into Kit and then into another card and into the Nerval and then get a search, he would have no matter what been able to just normal summon Banish and still play, even if he didn't have the cat. But because I hit him here, he had to have the cat in order to play. Which I technically could have let him do everything, and then if he summoned the cat, I could have ashed that. But then he still would have this Caress to pitch this to keep extending. So I think that that is the right spot to ash. I mean, yeah, I could have done it on cat. I think I'd stand by this, and I didn't know he had cat. I didn't even know he played it because not every list plays it. So I think that's where I want to like use Ash and Bell and Skullmeister for the future. I really liked that spot. But then he uses Cat to get Kit and Caress. I don't know if that's how you pronounce those, but that's how I'm gonna pronounce them. Links 2 into Farigit, the Baron Blossom. I'm gonna call it Blossom. Is that a sniper he's holding or a shotgun? I can't really tell. It doesn't matter. But if someone should like Photoshop that with like the operator from Valorant. That shit would look kind of cool. If it's a sniper, if it's a shotgun, then the shorty. That's the best one. Or what's the one that costs 900 called? I think it's the Bucky. They should put the Bucky on it. But he's going to use Kit to send Nerval. I don't think Harass actually has an effect in Grave. Yeah, he just Kit dumped. And yeah, that resolved. I didn't go over the hands at the start, by the way. The cards he has in hand right now are Caress, Nerval, Fractal, and Strike. And then I have double Mystic Mine, set rotation, Widow Anchor. So I still don't really have a way to play the game in this hand, but in a hand where you have multiple Mystic Mine, you don't really care if you have a way to play the game because you have a way to ensure that for a very long time they don't. So he uses the Baron Blossom to summon Fractal, and then he uses Fractal's effect for another summon. Summon as many monsters as you want, buddy. It ain't like their effects are going to get to activate. Then he uses Caress. Here he was thinking about it. I think he's like, actually, should I? I would have let him take it back if he decided he didn't want to. But he decided on it. He summoned the Caress. And 'cause honestly, I think, like, with me having the mine, him overextending and using every card he has is absurdly beneficial for me. And then he goes for the 4-material Appaloosa, which I don't know what is in this deck's extra deck, but if there really wasn't something more optimal to make than, like, a 2-material Appaloosa and then, like, maybe another Link 2 with an effect, then this deck's stinky. Why don't they have, like, real effects in the extra deck? And yeah, so he just has a 4-negate Appaloosa and this card, Double Dragon Lords, Ancient Warrior's Oath. I read that backwards like I'm fucking Yoda, but who cares? This card's really cool. I think they all play this one. I don't. If there's a list that doesn't, that's kind of weird. This card seems really good. But if this card's Link summoned, add an Ancient Warrior card from your deck to your hand, which I don't think resolves. I've seen builds that are a hybrid, but this isn't that. But then it can quick effect. Send a card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target a face-up card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. In this board state right here, it actually comes up where I didn't know that it can also send from field. I thought it had to send from hand, so I thought that his shit was kind of dead here. And so it caused me to make a play that would probably, I think I would consider a misplay, but I had Widow Anchor, so it's okay. Because I go set rotation, and I give him a set spell, and I give him my field spell, the Area 0, and I give myself a Mystic Mine. And the reason this is a misplay, if I didn't have Widow Anchor, is because here I flip the Mystic Mine, and he chains Lord to bounce it by sending Tanky. Which you might be thinking to yourself, it's a fucking field spell, idiot, just put it back down. But set rotation says that as long as one of the two field spells that are set by its effect are still set, neither player can activate field spells. So if I wouldn't have had the Widow Anchor here, I would have probably lost the duel because of that misplay. But I had Widow Anchor, so like the misplay wasn't too punishing. I just lost a Widow Anchor. And I thought that he couldn't bounce also was the main thing, because I thought at the time that the card was only cards in hand you could discard. But now that I know it's on field too, that makes the card that much better, and it also makes me more aware of it now, so I won't make a play like that in the future. So I just play my mind, I set my Shark Cannon and pass. He draws Kit for turn. He says he hates Mystic Mine. I say me too, except right now, feels good. He tries to use this guy's effect, but I ain't letting that slide. You're not allowed to activate effects under Mystic Mine. You can't play cost because you can't legally activate it. And he's like, oh shit. He brings it back. Mine is balanced, very balanced. And then I start sussing on him. I told him that we should start a Weezer cover band, and he didn't know what Weezer was, or what a cover band was, I guess. But he's trying to top deck Feather Duster, he says, which I don't give a fuck, dude. I have 2 Mystic Mine in hand also. You better kill me that turn. And then I of course, had to tell him what a Weezer cover band is. A band that covers Weezer, idiot. And see, this man's thinking Carl, Weezer, Jimmy Neutron. So we're just going to cover that Croissant song, you know. But, there's not much to say right here. We pass turn a bunch with Mystic Mine. And, like, I'm still not drawing Engine. But I'm drawing, like, literally I have 4 different hand traps in hand. 4 fucking hand traps. So it's guaranteed that whenever I do have to break my own mind, or if he breaks my mind, that he's not playing. And I think another misplay happens this game, actually. So I drew Engage here. This is kind of cool, too. I only had 2 spells engraved. Engage would only resolve for a search. I wouldn't want to put a monster on board in order to give him a way to outmine by linking his guys away into a 1-of. So I believe I just set the Engage pass, which is a little risky considering his like win con is a Feather Duster. And if he drew the Feather Duster here, not only would he out the mine now, but he'd eat my Engage alive. But I didn't really think that would happen. Like, I was willing to bet against it. And I have so many cards in hand, I would have had to discard. Be it, I could have discarded the Mystic Mine. And then I would still have 1 Mystic Mine in hand as my recovery. There's a good chance I don't need 3 in one duel. And it would have given me the 3 to, on this turn that's about to come up, been able to activate Engage for a +1 more comfortably. And so I draw multi-roll. I play multi-roll. He has no response. What did I do with it? So I pop this, and then I chain the I pop Shark Cannon with multi-roll, and then I chain the Shark Cannon to banish one of his guys. It's just getting a name out of the grave, and confirms that my spells can't be negated by anything, which, as we see now looking at his hand, he has the Ash. So I engage, he can't have it, and then I search Afterburners, and I get my draw. What do I end up drawing? The Ray. So, like, this was nutty for me. And Afterburners right here is where I make the misplay, I believe. But we'll see. So I Afterburners, right? And I know that this middle card set is Revolt, and I believe I pop the Revolt, even though I know it's Revolt. And having drawn Ray, I think I should have popped the Unknown, because like I said earlier, Bell can negate Revolt. And I have a Bell. He has monsters on board, so he can't Gamma me, even though I know he has the Gamma, I believe, because, no, I don't. I don't know at this game. That was last game. But I have the Bell. I could have used the Bell on the Revolt, so I should have popped this Unknown, which is Solemn Strike, which is going to clearly at some point counter my Ray. So that was a pretty big misplay, but now I've said it so many times throughout this that I don't think I'll make that misplay again if the exact same scenario happens to come up at any point. But then here I get my multi-roll effect to set to. I set the Widow Anchor and the Afterburners, because on next turn I'll be able to Afterburners his thing and my field spell that he has set. That way I could play the game off the Ray I summon off that, and then have a backup Ray too. And then I have the Widow Anchor just because card's fucking insane. Why would I not want to set it? And here I end phase discard the Mystic Mine because I have to, given my hand capacity, which gives me 4 engrave? Yeah, 4 spells engrave. One of them being the Engage, so when I add Engage back, I'll still have 3. He drew for turn, but then he shuffled, so I don't know what card he drew. I think, yeah, he just passed to me. I drawn 2 Desires, which I was technically, like, I could have used Desires as a +1, but I have so little cards in deck. This is a Mystic Mine game, and I'm only up 1 card in deck, so I didn't really want to deck out. I also didn't want to banish my search targets for Engage, because I've used a lot of Sky Striker cards. I don't have that many left. So I decide to, I believe, pop the Desires with multi-roll. Yeah. And so now I can freely activate my cards. I pop his monster, and I pop my spell. And then he ashes my spell summon, which is pretty good for him. Because then when I set my mine to pop this mine so that I could play the game, and then I summon Ray. And yeah, he starts freaking out here. This shit was funny. But like, so here, if he didn't have that strike and he had Revolt set, he just let us know that he meant to activate Revolt here, but he couldn't because I popped it earlier, which means he would have activated it here. Oh, but he has no monsters here. Now that I look at it, so if he flipped this and went Revolt effect and I went Bell, he would have been able to go Gamma, negate, summon 2, and then this would resolve, or not this, but the Revolt would resolve. And I believe the only interruption he can summon with it, though, is the one that banishes a card. But I think it might be non-targeting. So if he summoned it, activated effect, I would chain Ray into Kagari? Oh, No, I would have had to summon a Hida or a Kaina because my summon would resolve Chainlink 2, his banish would resolve Chainlink 1. So if I would have summoned Kagari, I would not have gotten the effect because it wouldn't be on field when its activation window was there. But I believe I would still get my Ray because one of my monsters left by card effect. So then I'd proc Ray to come back, then link it away for Kagari. And then I could have... Oh, he could have belled it though. So I think that I thought I made the wrong play, but given what happened, I made the right play. So that's kind of cool. That is really cool, though. So yeah, I'm glad I made the play that I thought was incorrect all this time. Oh, there's also a chance that it didn't go the way I just said it. That's just how, with my information of his deck and my deck, the play I would have made in the scenario. But so here I go, battle phase, hit 15, Ray effect, he strikes me. And I'm like, shit. But, so I have Widow Anchor that can take everything. I'm going to get multi-roll on the end phase. And I have 4 different hand traps. Like, this is a fucking scary hand. And then there's a bunch of dialogue over here. This guy, honestly, I had an amazing time playing against this dude. We kind of just had fun in the chat the whole time. It was really cool. I really like people like that just like aren't assholes when you play and are willing to like talk and have fun like you would in an event in person. Like some people on Dueling Book just act like fucking cucks and that shit's annoying. But he goes summon Fractal. Let's see what I decide to do. Valor it. You can't Valor him. It's a normal monster. So I had all these interruptions, and all I needed was one to out his ass. He tried to get me here. He said, sir, this is a Wendy's. And then I said, Wendy's nuts. Ha! Which was his plan. But I take the 19. And then he tried getting me again. He tried getting me twice. Man, can't catch me lacking. Here's another spot where I think I might have misplayed. So I'm excited to see this. I think the play I made, let's see what the play I made is real quick. Or at least where it starts to go. So I go Shark Cannon, targeting Ash, and he bells me. The play I was thinking here was, if he didn't have Bell, it was going to be activate Shark Cannon, chain Widow Anchor, take his guy. And then I was going to go link those 2 into Hida. Hida summon his Ash from grave. Link those into Selene. Selene effect, bring back Valor. And then make a access code talker. Pop his back row. And then, or bait his back row, I guess. Because here he'd probably, at some point he'd chain it, banish my guy. But he had the bell. And so what I think the misplay potentially is that I could have activated the Mystic Mine or the Area 0, either way, and then popped it with multi-roll to secure that he can't respond to my cards. And then if I popped the Area 0, he probably would have ashed it, and then I would have got to do the play I just said out loud, and then I would go into the access code talker with him only at 5k, having taken his guy. But then Gamma's live again now that I think about it. That Gamma is a fucking bitch. So I guess let's see what play I actually make. The fact that he had Gamma and Ghost Bell make all these plays that I thought were really bad actually like alright. So then here I just Widow Anchor his guy. I normal summon my Bell. And then I said a bell for a bell makes the whole world yell. I thought that was a little clever one. And then Here he thinks I'm going into Halki Fibrax, but nay, I'm bigger brained than that. We make Hita. The reason that I opt to go for the Hita instead of the Halki Fibrax summoning the Veiler from deck is that doing it here gets me the same outcome because this is a spellcaster, so you can still go into Selene, and he has the Ash Engrave for me to summon, and he also has Fractals. And then I have the Veiler Engrave, so the whole play is live already, and they all die. They both die to the exact same hand traps. Not actually, because this way it can't get ashed, where it could get ashed if it was Halki Fibrax. And then Imperm and Veiler, if used on this, leave me with a floater that searches Ash. Whereas on Halki Fibrax, I don't have a Synchro in the extra deck to use. So this plays a little bit harder around hand traps. Also, I think he could have Gamma'd me here, technically. And yeah, if he would have Gamma'd me here, I'd get to search an Ash also. Now that I see the Gamma, why did he not use it? Or does he? That's a little goofy. Did this guy fucking whiff it by not using his Gamma? He might have, because then I go into Access. I activate effect, get the 3, and then on the resolution of the effect, he goes Revolt. Wait, I don't get why he didn't Gamma now that I look at it. He should have not Gamma'd the level 2. He shouldn't have Gamma'd this because I would have got to search for an Ash. But he probably definitely should have Gamma'd Selene. I don't think it does anything to prevent it. It is a quick effect, but that doesn't really matter. Like, he definitely, I think, unless, does he not have Driver? Yeah, he should have just Gamma'd me. Dude, I think he punted right there. But he goes instead into this card. Ominous Omen? I think that's how you say that. I think that's another Valorant character, Omen. Someone should put him on there too. But if this guy is special summoned or another guy, dude, this is a good card though. You can banish a card on the field, and so he's gonna banish my access code, which isn't the end of the world. He also gets to send Fractal and add Kit. Banishes my access code, and then I flip the Mystic Mine. So looking at it again, I think this might have been the optimal pathing for what I was trying to do. And then, oh wait, I multi-roll here? Oh no, I'm end phase multi-rolling. And I'm grabbing Engage and Widow Anchor, which I thought was a pretty good play. You typically don't want to get Engage off of multi-roll because it's going to get banished. But given the current life total and the state of the game, I think when I activate the Engage, it's going to be for game. Because I've already got a Widow Anchor and he's got a 3k guy. I didn't notice this, but this was a really good imperm set by him. Out of the 2 choices he had, he did get it in the Engage column. But I'm not going to summon a monster before I engage. So here I draw Veiler for turn. I activate the Engage. What is he doing? Oh wait, he can't Ash me. I was about to say, what is this idiot doing? He's not an idiot. Like I said, I really had fun playing against this guy, and he couldn't Ash here because of Mystic Mine, but I thought he could for a sec. So yeah, my Engage resolved. What did I get? Hornet Drones, and then I drew a card. Reason I went for Hornet Drones here instead of getting another Ray or getting Rose is because it leaves me my normal summon if anything goes wrong, and Skullmeister, while being a hand trap, also is a 1700 body, and he's only at 5000. So, like, Skullmeister plus me taking this monster is 4700 already. So I just simply need to summon a Sky Striker Link in the dual ends. And I believe that's exactly what happens. I use multi-roll to pop the Mystic Mine. So now not only can I play, but he can't respond to my cards. My Ash is banished. I forgot to banish it, but he's got me covered. I link into Kagari, attempting to take... I don't even know what I targeted, and I didn't say it, but he just imperms me. And then I flip the Widow Anchor, take his guy, normal summon Skullmeister, hit for game. And yeah, so that was a brutal game 2 after I got fucking waxed game 1 by the Imperial Order. And my hand wasn't crazy either. he had a really nice setup for the game one. This deck is really good, the Tri-Brigade. I want to play it soon. I need to put a build together for it. The all-important game 3. And I open really good here. Double Ray, Widow Anchor, Skullmeister, Ash. And then he opens Kit, Karass, Twin, Revolt, Strike. Revolt is like a bonkers card. That card is very, very good. It usually nets them like a search, a dump, 2 dumps? No, 1 dump. 1 dump, 1 search, and then also a monster on the board, which is just really fucking powerful. So he opens up using Karass effect, sending Kit, and then I Skullmeister it. I think that's the correct one to use if you have Ash and Skullmeister to Skullmeister it, but I'm also not sure. If you're simply looking at the Tri-Brigade monsters, Ash stops... It does. Ash and Skullmeister stop them all. And neither stop Revolt, but I believe they sometimes, or all the time, I'm not sure, play Pot of Acquisitiveness, which Ash can stop. I don't know what else they would play that Ash can stop, but that is enough for me, I think, to hit them with Skullmeister. Plus, Ash is a tuner for how Fibrax plays. But like we saw last game, Skullmeister comes up for its attack. So this guy, after he got hit with the Ash, didn't have much to do. He sets a Solemn Strike and passes to me, which the Strike puts in work for him here, because I can't get over this 15. So I go into Hayate, get striked, and here I make fun of him. And, well, actually, that's not making fun of him. I told him he has a fat cock, but I thought I would have made fun of him because he took the same amount of damage regardless, because Hayate attacks direct for 15, Strike does 15. It's like my guy didn't die. But here, I think this was a big misplay on his part. He probably didn't expect me to have access to more Sky Striker monsters, but the 1500 defense forces me to go into a link before I can do anything. And even then, do I have spells engraved? I have 0 spells engraved, so none of the links can climb this. 15 defense is actually pretty relevant against me, and he has the strike set. So if I have another Sky Striker, which I do, I would have to summon it and commit to an extra deck card, which I only play 2 Hayate, and I probably would have made Hayate, and he would have striked my second Hayate, putting me completely out of them. But because he didn't, I'm going to summon and get to swing over his guy, and I don't think the 1,200 life points he dealt to me is worth the resource that this in defense could have been. So here, yeah, I summon the Ray, and then, see, he says, how skillful, making fun of me, but last games, you saw, I didn't draw any of these fucking monsters. I deserve it here. But, so I swing with the Ray. He takes 300. Plus, if he would have put that in defense, he had the counterplay to me drawing another Ray. Because here, now I'm going to activate Ray's effect, and then I take the 15, but I outed this card now, which to me, technically, maybe that's not a good thing, because now his Revolt is live, and it can bring back Kit, which will get sent to send Nerval to search Fractal. So maybe he wanted that, but I'm not sure. But anyways, I take the 15, or he takes the 15 from Strike. He draws into Gamma, activates Twin Twister on my Widow Anchor and my Typhoon, which is pretty decent for him. It's not like, it's here nor there. It doesn't really impact me too much. Doesn't really not impact me too much. I draw Veiler, so I have Veiler, Ash, Rose. We summon the Rose, which I'm very happy I had here. Kagari effect, Widow. This is a funny play that comes up. So I swing. He uses Tri-Brigade Revolt to summon his 2 back. So now that I look at it, that might be why he was willing to put his guy in a compromising position to die, because he was able to proc the Revolt. So maybe if I were the duelist playing the Tri-Brigade deck, I would have made a misplay. So here, the guy he summons, first he gets Kit effect, and I Ash it. And then this guy has 1600 attack, and I added my Widow Anchor back, so I have no spells engraved. And so he thought I was taking it. I can't because I don't have 3. But I Widow Anchor his guy just to give me the extra 100 attack points. I crash my Kagari into it, And I have both Ray and Rose engraved, so I activate them both, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're both if effects. So I activate my Ray and my Rose because my monster died and his monster died, both in the extra monster zone. So I get to summon both of these bad boys out, and then I swing for 3,000, and then I get the Tribute Ray for the Hayate, swing for another 15, just 200 short a game, which I was kind of sad I didn't kill him, but I'm also in a very good spot here. I then go into I link these away for Zeke, and then I link Zeke for Shizuku, which I technically like could have just not brought back the Rose and then not have to waste the Zeke, but this put him so close to dead that I didn't think that the Zeke was really gonna come up, because like, what does he really top deck here besides Revolt exactly to play? Because if he top decks any of the monsters, he summons them, and I Veiler the effect to summon from the extra deck. And even if it was like a Nerval, he'd be able to link it away, get a search, but there's no way for him to extend past that. If he got Rescue Cat, summon Veiler. If he that's literally all I can think of. Tanky, search, pitch, dump, search, summon, Veiler. So Veiler outs anything I think he could top deck except Revolt. So I'm in a very, very good position here. And Phase Shizuku gets Engage, I believe. Yeah. So even though I don't have 3, I still have 2 engrave. And the Engage is going to get me any card I would want. And here he draws the order. The card comes back to bite him. Fuck Imperial Order. He scoops. I win the match. This was a really, really fun match. We went to game 3. And I really enjoyed both mine and his decks. And I had fun against the opponent too. So Encrypted Virus, if you're watching this, dude, I fuck with you. Anyone that is watching this all the way to this point, you might as well hit the like and subscribe button. Like, you clearly like, you're a guy. Thank you very much. Yeah, take it easy.